Welcome back to the channel. I am Mad Capper, and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And it's been a few days since I've made a video, and I apologize for that. One of the things I've always tried to do is find a different lane than what the other content creators are doing. They've got videos on all the latest great things that I'm going to briefly touch on today. But I've always tried to look for other areas of opportunity, areas that I can give you information that maybe you won't see, or something that's unique specifically to my champions as opposed to another areas, or something to that effect. And I felt like a lot of the videos that were available, a lot of the things that we could talk about right now, pre 1.13, are things that some of the great content creators have already made great videos for. So why am I going to do that? You're going to watch them. You're probably not going to watch me, or if I am, you're going to stop it right away because I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. But I will touch on a few important things right now. If we go into the news, first of all, there was a 2+ hour downtime yesterday. It was about 3 a.m. in local Ukraine time. It was in the evening here, I think somewhere between 7 and 9 my time. I have never seen that from a game of this kind of this height in going down for that long, but you can at least understand 3 in the morning is a little bit tough to react to what's going on. By the time you get people in there and then you start diagnosing the issues and get to it, could have been a power outage, could have been anything. We don't know what it was, but we do know we got a little bit of a compensation for it. What I will say is, I think that normally this is actually really good compensation. You get clan boss keys in case you lost one mid-go. You get an ancient shard, which is doubly worth it if you read the next news in a second. You get some energy in case you lost something in a day, XP boost for the day, for the hours you were down. Now that's nice. I will say that given that how long it was down and that potentially it could have affected people's ability to finish clan bosses, that sort of thing, it would have been nice to see something a little bit more. But you know what? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I've been playing plenty of games. When it goes down, all they tell you is too effing bad, and they don't give you anything. So the fact that we get some kind of compensation is at least some sort of a thank you for our time and patience, because we do, most of us, paid to play this game, or even for free to play, we use our time and effort to play a game that they've created. So it's nice that they recognize the what happens when it goes down, and that we can't do what we want to do. The other thing, we will be having boosted summon rates tomorrow. It is 9 a.m. UTC Thursday to 9 a.m. UTC Sunday. So 9 o'clock UTC is 3 a.m. Central Standard Time. If I have my conversion right, you can just check Google or just do it, figure it out from there. So tomorrow will be a busy day for a lot of streamers and a lot of YouTube content creators, probably pulling shards. I have a few. I don't have a whole lot. I'm being a little bit stingy on my paying right now, so it'd have to be a pretty amazing deal for me to purchase shards tomorrow, but you never know. If they come up with an amazing offer, I'll probably still have to jump on it. Also, I do want to briefly talk about the tournament here, because the Golem Tournament has long since been shown to be the worst tournament out there. I have barely been grinding it. I don't like my team. It takes far too long, and I'm not the only one that feels that way. I'm at 1,100 points. The leaderboard, where we normally see hundreds of thousands of points going up in this. Now, granted, this is only a Lego tome. It is not any of the events that have been giving actual champions in the game, like the summoning and the champion chase and all those other ones that are up there. But it is still interesting to note, is this going to let them know that either they're going to have to sweeten the pot for Ice Golem to suck up all that energy and make them some money, or are they just going to say, hey, you know what, we realize the Ice Golem's the least of the favorite, we're going to put it in the rotation, we're going to keep the rewards relatively small compared to what it was for the other ones, and we're just going to call it that. Because honestly, what was it, 12,399 is such a small. Now I know Arteezy, who streams, he's got a pretty good Ice Golem team where he can direct boss, but I don't believe, unless you use some kind of clicker type thing, because he can direct kill the boss without dealing with the ads, and it's actually a really great and smart strategy, but you have to click on the main boss to have it happen. So I don't know if he's going to do that in his stream or what he's going to go, but I know he can get up there. He's been up in the top before of the Ice Golem, but very few others have a real solid, fast. Seer's a great strategy in this, but she still takes several minutes. And for the level, you know, if you can do this in a minute 30 versus a dragon in 30 seconds, and you get better gear in the dragon dungeon, do you really want to spend your energy on this just for one Lego book? And I think that's what a lot of people are looking at when you see the numbers. Even mine, I'm typically in a low tier spending group, a group that spends a couple $100. You know, I've seen like, I think we had 80,000 when it came down to the champion training event, that tournament. So I'm usually in reasonably competitive groups, and this one here, the top is just barely touching the 5-star chicken with 6 hours to go. You can tell the ice golem is not something we want to spend our cash on. It'll be interesting to see whether they just keep going or not. You also see the champion chase tournament starting in 7 hours and 15 minutes. That is in conjunction with the double shards. Now, keep in mind, do not open double shards unless you see the following very specific condition. That portal will glow blue way more than it is, and there'll be a blue beam shooting out the top. It'll also say double summons with a countdown timer right on the screen. And if you didn't pay attention to that, you can always jump into this info tab. You see where the ancients are. You see where the epic is at 8%. Legendary is 0.5. Do not open unless that is 1% and 16%. Like I said, I got a few. I got 21. Hopefully, we just finished the Nightmare Clan boss. I did get one shard out of the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss, and 3 more rare tomes. Thanks for the rare tomes, Plarium. Hopefully I'm gonna get 1 or 2 more blue shards, ancient shards for that. Because I don't want to spend a whole lot of money this round. As you can see, I've even let my gems whittle away. I had about 3,500 before the whole series of tournaments went on there. I spent a lot of my gems on those tournaments. I didn't come in first. I was in until the end, and then when I kind of backed off, I was pot committed, so I still wanted to make sure I got that relentless gear. And it cost me an absolute ton of my resources. Also, I've been working on my Unkillable 2.0 clan boss video. I've been getting some different, I have to get a bunch of different, I don't normally like editing, but this is one of those. But in respect to my clanmates who also want to kill the Ultra Nightmare clan boss, I can't just throw a bunch of keys to make a bunch of content. I'm piecing it together over time. I do have a few more things that I have to do. It's going to take a little bit of time and resource, so it'll probably be a few more weeks till I get that out. But hopefully I'll be giving you an updated version of the clan boss teams and what to do post 1.13 when the Unkillable comp gets nerfed, because it is still absolutely viable to use Unkillable in the Ultra Nightmare clan boss, and it is still, in my opinion, very, very possible to 3-key or 2-key and potentially even 1-key the Ultra Nightmare clan boss and get your 71 million. You won't be able to clan jump, so it won't be worthwhile to just keep going around one to the next. But still, if you only use 1 or 2 keys, it gives you those resources to be able to use on other things, like the Nightmare clan boss, for example, the Brutal. Just, yeah, hey, you know, the more chests, the better. Or maybe you still want to clan jump just for the sake of helping other clans. I do know there's a lot of people out there that will jump from clan to clan to help kill those clans. They won't overkill it, but they'll make sure that all those other friends of theirs get them and then jump back to their main. So there's some bonuses and positives to still using less keys on the Ultra Nightmare. So we're going to go through some strategies for that as soon as I can break that video. I hope to have it in a week, but it really honestly depends on the value of some offers, so I can get a few more gems, some more silver, because it is very silver intensive to change out these teams and to change my compositions to be able to show you the different things I want to do, especially the ones that are going to involve some speed tuning, other than just the standard 191 plus that the Ultra Nightmare needs. So stay tuned for that. But I do want to talk a little bit finally about the arena. Now, I've been playing the arena for a little while here. You see, I'm keeping very much intentionally around this mid gold 4. Every time it starts, I kind of let everyone slide. I just do my minimum, and then I start grinding a little bit more. And I do want to show you, now that the tournament's kind of settled down. Now, I heard a rumor that the only initial changes to tournament in the nerf are going to be surrounding the masteries and the passives involved in masteries, the healing passive, the turn boost passives, those sort of things. That tournament will not proc off of those, but it is the only change that I've heard. I don't know if that's true or if that's just a leak, or even if it's just a rumor or someone just musing to themselves. I don't know, but what I do know, if that's the truth, then we're gonna have to get used to tournament. So what I'd like to do is just show you kind of some of the things I do when facing teams here. Ironically, I don't have a tournament. Yes, I do. I have one tournament team right down, 2 tournament. Well, So we're going to play through a couple of different scenarios against tournament teams, and against other teams too, and I'm going to show you kind of how I decide. Definitely the great thing about this meta is you can't just use the standard 4 champs and use those 4 champs through every possible scenario. You are definitely going to have to go through multiple scenarios and try multiple different character combinations to ensure that you have the best possible chance of winning each match. Now let's go through the first one here. Here we have a very tanky one. You have 4 tanks. It's very slow. There's no turn meter boost here. Molly can usually go pretty fast, and you do have a turn meter reduction in Rosin. But I'm fairly confident that I can that I don't have to use any of my main turn meter boosters to counter that. So what I'm going to do with this, because I see some tanks there, I do see 2 Force Affinity, which isn't great, but I also see 2 Spirit Affinity. So for my team comp that I'm going to use, I'm going to be bringing in as many tanks as I can. So I still want that speed lead so that I can go first, so that and that's also a really good nuker there, so it gives me an opportunity to hit once, potentially twice, to take out the other team. I do want to debuff now because there's no Tormund. I am safe to use Madame 3, and there's my second one. She's going to be my defense down, and she also puts obviously an attack down, which is going to help me survive. I'm not going to survive this guy right here. Third one I'm going to put in is Biggin. Biggin's big thing is he hits like a truck, and on his A3, not only does it hit really hard, but it also does turn meter reduction. So I do have some turn meter reduction that, depending on my speed versus theirs, is going to be really helpful. And the last one I want to use, just because, now I wouldn't typically use it in this one, but I do see a couple tanks that are Spirit Affinity, so it does make sense to give it a go. And I use Excruciator. I'm not done building her, but I do like her kit for these sort of scenarios. I don't know if he's faster than me, then it's all for naught. I'll have to switch it up again, but I do want to bring her in here just to show you one kind of way I like to take a look and use my team. So here we go. We're going to use the debuffs. You always want your debuff to go first. That's going to clear out all their shields. It's going to give them that debuff. I see a couple of attack downs, and then we're going to hit with our first nuker, hit some good damage. That's going to be a huge piece to the next. Now that is a huge part because it's Molly. But guess what, Molly? Not everyone on my team is someone you want to have auto attacking you. She goes down. Now the great thing is even though glass cannon here, she's still gonna have a second chance to do some damage. Hopefully I'm gonna get to go with the Excruciator. This is looking ugly because of the dude. Now I got my turn meter reduction and some good damage there. And finally, it might be a weak hit, or it's that. Boom, down you go. And that goes to show. So this team here, I tried it. It worked. It worked just fine. But I was trying very specifically to choose champions based on what I was up against. Excruciator didn't get to go because she had True Fear on her, but just as easily she could have done that, and she could have weak hit. There's different things that can happen, but you see the importance of having some of the mastery. So Biggin, if he loses a certain percentage of his health because of his mastery, he will counterattack, and also he has 3 AoE, so even if he's taunted, he still hits really hard, and that's a big piece of the puzzle, is to have an AoE nuker on your A1 when facing those sort of teams that can taunt you, because that way you're still going to maximize your damage against the other team even when they're able to taunt you. So that's kind of the first piece to show there. The second piece is when you don't have turn meter boost against you. Now I could have used a turn meter booster like Arbiter as my lead. I just wanted to get 3 nukers in there to really hammer the point home. Here's one here. I have a feeling I'm going to lose this because you have a really good speed lead, and then you have a turn meter manipulator and a taunter, so this is going to be a little bit interesting. So what I would do against this is I would definitely bring in my Arbiter just so I can get that extra speed. So now I'm getting the better speed. I know I do have Lord Shazar here. Unfortunately, he's not ready. I just got him to 60. He's not min-max. He doesn't have the best gear on him right now. He hasn't gone through mastery, so he's not quite ready to do this. But at some point, he'll be another option for me in this sort of setup. Again, no Tormund. Means absolutely Madame 3 is going to be in there. I like using her, but now we're not going to use that because I'm a little bit worried about their speed. I'm going to bring in Sylar. Now, Sylar is a specific champion that's really good against Tormund because she's all debuff and no buff. And secondly, she is got this, which is the Leaden Legs, which is a 30% decreased speed debuff on all enemies, plus a 40% decrease to the turn meter on all enemies. This is an absolute game changer, and this is what a lot of the Platinum Arena champion fighters on their offensive teams are now using to counter some of these tanky teams, speed teams, and definitely Torment teams, because she doesn't get herself frozen. Now, you can have your Sylar hit really hard. She is definitely someone that you can make hit hard, but I was no longer using her in dungeons, so I thought, you know what, I want her strictly to be speed. So she's got really good speed for me, 233. She goes second in just about every one of my scenarios, and she's got good accuracy. I do want it better. I do want both those stats to go even higher, but she's not going to hit for a whole lot. She's simply there to keep the turn meter in my favor. So we're going to see what happens with that. Now I have 3 turn meter manipulators and, of course, my debuffer. Let's see how that goes. I haven't used crowd control as much as I used to, and whether that or not that's going to come back to haunt me, I don't know. So here we go. Boom. We've turn meter reduced them all. Now we get to go. Now we're going to get the debuffs gone, and then a second turn meter, as well as, of course, just hitting really hard. Most of them go down, and then we're just going to clean it up. Get rid of that Shiramani, who's an absolute nightmare to deal with most times. Again, say they had a tankier team and that happened, I'm not so worried. Biggin, he's a big boy, he can take care of himself. He's going to hit really hard with his A1, and it doesn't really matter that he's taunted as compared to, you know, any of the other team that I don't want taunted because they don't have that AoE A1. So there's an example. Now let's go down to the Torment. This is a scary because it also has Blind Seer and Arbiter. This is one of the worst case scenarios. This is not the worst case scenario I've dealt with. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you that, but this is definitely one of the worst case scenarios I have, because they have a speed boost, they have a Torment, they have a Draco who's going to weaken, debuff, and poison, and Blind Seer who's going to blindside me. Absolutely. I don't think this is a team I can beat, especially when I look at the power means there is some resist on that team, but we're going to give it a go anyway, just for the video. And so what I would do when I go up against this team, now one thing is if I'm close on this team, if this isn't a complete wipe, I will fight this team multiple times. Now a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to waste the tokens, but honestly, you're never going to learn if you don't try, if you don't keep trying to figure out how you can use your team and the champions you have to beat this team. Now what I do know is, because we don't want to deal with getting frozen, we're going to put Tyrell in there. He's got reasonably good speed, and he's got that AoE decreased defense. I'm going to keep Sylar in there. That's the reason why I actually built her up as for a team like this. And then we're still going to keep... Now, interesting to note, my Biggin is not properly built. He has lifesteal on him because I want to use him in Nightmare Campaign to farm. He's almost there. He just barely dies about 50% of the time on the third wave, so I'm really close on his stats, so I don't want to mess with it, but he does need lifesteal, so he has lifesteal here, which is absolutely not a good thing for him when he's facing a Torment. So normally I would move him, but I do want that turn meter decrease, so if we get around the horn and he freezes himself while landing that turn meter decrease, I'm not really upset. If he doesn't and I want to play the second time, I'll probably replace him with a Skull Crown, who obviously is not going to get frozen. So here we are, we get first turn, but in this case I cannot use my boosts. So what instead I'm going to do is, who do I want to take the most damage? Let's get that weaken down. Then we're going to put down the speed decrease. Boom, they're all there. Now I get my champions going first. Then we're going to hit that thing, and now it's time for the big boom. And that is how it is done. That is exactly how I wanted that to go down. It couldn't have gone any better. Torment, yeah, he's a pain in the ass, but he's all by his lonesome now. So now we're just going to whittle him away. I mean, it's certainly not a lock. I've seen Torments absolutely make a nightmare out of me. Or make a fool out of me with their abilities, but honestly, I don't suspect this is going to be an issue. Game over. That is how you fight a Torment, and I'm so glad that I was faster than their Arbiter. Now, I don't see the combo here. It's unfortunate because I do want to show one scenario, or talk about one scenario that I haven't been able to figure out. And if you have, please leave a comment down below on how you are able to beat this team. Now, when fighting this team, I have had zero luck. And it is when Torment is with an HP burn champion, an AoE HP burn champion, especially a passive one. Now I'm trying to remember which one is it Drexthar that has the every time you hit. Yeah, this one here. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All my champions AoE getting hit, now they're HP burning, and then Torment just wrecks your team if you're burning. If you are under a burn and a freeze, it is absolutely a nightmare to deal with. I have not been able to figure out. He's not the only one that I've had issues with. Obviously Ignatius, obviously Venus, even Ultimate Gaelic, although usually I'm faster than teams that have Ultimate Gaelic, but there are so many HP burn teams out there that you have to be worried about. Heck, Kalia could be in there and you could think, oh look, it's Kalia, easy win. No, she's going to HP burn you, and if there's a tournament on that team as well, then you're in for a world of hurt. If you have a way to beat that team, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. Other than that, I'm going to wrap it up. We're hitting about 20 minutes, and I'm not going to edit this at all, so you're going to have to painfully get through this. If you did like the information, if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also in the comments down below, any suggestions, questions you may have. And finally, hey, subscribe. Keep the channel alive. I have a lot of fun. I'm going to do this anyway, but it would be nice to know that I'm actually doing this for people. So please subscribe, share it with your friends, and most importantly, keep your stick on the ice and don't eat yellow snow. As a matter of fact, don't eat any snow on the ground that is any color other than white. I'd even be suspicious if it was white. Don't eat it. Just don't eat anything. And drink Corona, but don't catch it. Keep yourself safe out there if you're traveling around the world or you're from anywhere around the world. The coronavirus is out there. Hey, I work in the pharmacy industry, and let me tell you, although it's not something outside of China that is an epidemic yet, it can easily get that way. So just keep yourself safe. Make sure you're washing your hands frequently. Cough into your arm. Do the basics. If you're traveling anywhere that's a little bit higher risk, like going to an airport, those sort of things, hey, you know what? You don't have to look like a rock star. Throw the mask on. Buy a mask. And then keep yourself safe. Keep yourself safe out there at all times, because I love you. And the last thing I'd want to know is that we lost a subscriber. And finally, I do want to end this stream by saying rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Some of you love him, some of you hate him, but everyone must respect what he has accomplished and done in his life. And to lose him in his 40s, and more importantly, to lose his daughter and the other children that were on that plane, is an absolute heartbreak. My heart goes out to their family and their friends and their close ones, and my heart goes out to everyone who were ever touched by such a great athlete and person. He hasn't always been a saint, but he's always tried to do the right thing, in my opinion. So rest in peace, Kobe. We're going to miss you a lot. And with that, thanks for tuning in and have a good night.